So we're gonna do a short one today because the last one was a bit long. We're gonna implement dying, and it's a very easy thing to do, but the concepts behind it might be a little tricky. You don't know about them. Cool. Alrighty, so yes, the two important concepts are areas and signals. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to what we want is we want to have something that triggers, that detects our character when it's here, so that we know we need to spawn it back. And I just realized another important concept is groups. So we're going to go over signals, groups, and this Area2d, which we will add. It's really important to name your nodes so that when you reference them in the code, it's easy. So this is going to be fall detector. Maybe you could think of a better name for it, but it's just going to detect when we fall. And obviously there's different fallings. Like if I go from here, I don't want it to detect because we're still alive. It's if we come somewhere here. So if we look at this warning, it says this node has no shape, it can't collide, blah, blah, blah. Consider adding a collision shape 2D. So let's do that. We're gonna add a child, collision shape 2D. Nice. So we need to add a shape. Normally for these fall, I add a rectangle, and we are going to have it extend the whole place that our character can fall. So if our character can fall here, we just wanted to extend the whole thing. I'll do it like that just in case. If we play the game, nothing is going to happen because we need to actually hook it up to that. Oh, and actually, our camera is not following our character, and an easy way to do that is just to make the camera a child of our character. And actually, let's center it. Okay, now it's on the center of our character. And now our camera will follow it around. Yes, the movement script is a bit crazy, but let's just leave it alone for now. Alrighty, so now we're gonna need to go over these signals. It's a very zoomy mushroom. Yes, that's true. So if we click on any node in the inspector, there's a bunch of properties we can edit, but there's another tab when we click on a node, and it is the node tab. And here we have access to signals and groups. So we're gonna go over both today, but for now, let's pay attention to these signals. It's actually, the signals are different depending on the node. So here we have Area2d signals. So it's area entered, area exit, area shape entered, body exited. And if we go to our kinematic body 2D, we don't have those area entered signals. We have different ones. And the tile map has different ones. The camera has different ones. Yes, exactly, invisible matter. So in Unity, it's called events, and in Godot, it's called signals. They're the same thing. So in the area, these are important because we want, since our character is a kinematic body, we need to detect when a body enters it. You'll have some objects that are just areas. Like for instance, if I made a coin, I wouldn't make it like a body, I would make it an area. I would use area entered. But since we want to detect our character and it's a body, we're gonna use this body entered. And we're gonna want to connect it to a script. And since we don't want to connect it to our character script, we want to connect it to a level script, and we don't have one. So we need to create a script for our level. So I'm gonna save the script in our scripts folder for level 1. Cool, now we have an empty script in our level 1, and we wanna connect this body entered because we wanna detect when our character enters that area, because when our character enters, we know that it fell. So for now, let's just print I fell. And you can see that there's a signal because it's it created this icon next to it. And if I double tap this, it'll go here. I have this wrap feature, that's why the code looks different. But let's test it out. Oh, if you want to, if you're on a node and you want to switch between this view and that view, it's up here. It's a good way to switch. Okay, so we're gonna, oh, and let's also get rid of this printing on the character. We don't need it anymore. And let's clear that. Okay, now there's no printing. And it printed I fell. That's good. So now we need to think, what do we want to happen when the character falls? So what we want to do is we're going to reset the scene. And an easy way to do that is this function that it took me a while to memorize this function. What's up, Necro? But I finally memorized it, so don't feel bad if it takes you a while to memorize it. So we need to use get tree dot change scene to level 1. So these are all of our scenes. We have a character scene, we have a level 1 scene. We're basically just refreshing our level 1. If we were in level 2, we would change the scene to level 2. We just want to restart the level. And that is basically it. When we fall, it resets it. Super simple, super easy. But a problem with this code could be if we have enemies. So like, let's say we have like a special enemy that's going back and forth, and I don't know, let's just say it falls off. And then if the enemy fell off, it would also be a body, and it would reset the level if another character fell off, and we wouldn't want that. We only want the level to reset if our main character falls off. So that's where groups come into play. I don't know, in Unity, is it called like tags or something? I really don't remember. So we're gonna make a group or a tag for our main character, and we're gonna tag it. So we're gonna come here to group, and I'm gonna call it main character. And it's important that you spell it exactly the same way that you have it. So now when we come in here, we wanna make sure that we only fall off if this is the main character body. So we could do if body is in group, and then we're spelling it exactly the same way with the capitals. So we only want it to reset the scene if our main character falls in. So now if it's in the main character group, it will trigger, boom. And if we get rid of that tag here, let's say we delete it, now our main character is no longer tagged as main character. It doesn't work. Cool. I actually had a problem with this when I was programming in Unity, like these tags, because I had like a Cyclops AI, and in order to enter the cave, you had to enter the area. And I was wondering why randomly it would change to the cave scene when I didn't enter it, and I realized that the Cyclops was triggering it. So it's very important to remember this. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, here, if you look at them, on fall, body entered, on fall, yes. So signals just they call the function, basically. That's all that's happening here. It calls that function that we connected it to when the body enters, and that's pretty much it. Very short tutorial episode today.